everyone, my name is Celina Cordoba L, and I just wanted to take a second before I throw labels on all these this afternoon, or really this morning. I wanted to just thank everyone who is, look at me, trying to find a little space to put my elbow. I just wanted to thank everyone for supporting Cordoba Organics. Anyone who has ever put it on their body, understood why I don't use shea butter in anything, and have really just appreciated the infusion of herbs in their products. Like, thank you. Thank you so much for believing in everything that I've done and in encouraging me to make more. You know, like 10 years ago when I started, I didn't really think that I would be able to create what I had in my mind because, you know, I just started with a little like $50, you know, in my account. I didn't have a lot saved. And this is, you know, right after I had more. I just knew that I wanted to create something that was an extension of my energy, but that also was a reflection of everything that I learned in terms of studying herbs and just really incorporating them in my lifestyle. And based on all the things that like certain people in my family experienced, I really just wanted to preserve my joints. You know, I'd experienced a lot of surgery before like the age of 18. Just joint surgery, open knee surgery from dance and from dislocating my patellas and from just really having, you know, bone spurs from taking point class and all the things that, you know, I'd experienced before like the age of 21 really just taught me to slow down a lot and to think of ways to heal myself and to just kind of preserve my joints and try to create some mobility and some flexibility. And to say the least, you know, after teaching yoga and doing all the work that I found myself doing after graduating, I went to Syracuse. And I tell people this all the time because what I went to school for, I've never gotten paid or gotten hired or had a job that I actually went to school for. So, you know, after going to school for theater, I was thinking of ways to just, you know, extend my energy, whether it was teaching a Pilates class or, you know, teaching and learning more about yoga and being able to teach that. I really wanted to think of a way to not put myself in studios anymore after having my son and just really focus on creating something that was unique to me and that kind of encompassed everything that I had learned. I also wanted to make it official and study, you know, herbs to such a degree that I was able to acquire my doctorate in herbology, like right in 2000, I graduated in 1999. Yes, 2002, 2003. So right at that time, right after I met a seer, I just really took some time to put the hours in. And that kind of came from me needing to get certified in Pilates and get certified in different works. I had to actually work with people and kind of check my hours in at the time. And so, you know, studying herbs and how to apply them to like everyday living wasn't something that I knew how to do all the time. You know, I usually just soaked in baths and drank as much tea as I could and, you know, like concocted my own stuff, but I never thought that I'd be able to actually create what was in my mind. And the reason why someone asked me, yo, you go hard, like you have mad different products, sometimes I go on your site, it wasn't to cause confusion in terms of expanding, but not all of us have the luxury of sometimes becoming viral or becoming known based on the work that we've done or who we are in life. Like one thing that I've learned at 44 right now is that not everyone is gonna get acknowledgement for the things that they do and for the work that they put out. And how is that gonna affect you and affect your life and affect your, you know, how you believe about yourself or how you believe in faith or how you have faith in times where you really aren't appreciated or aren't acknowledged, or like, you know, you'll create something and then someone else might, you know, come right along and do something similar and get way more notoriety. I really have humbled myself and grown in certain ways to realize, like, no matter how much I might create, I might not get credit or have acknowledgement or be recognized for the things I put out in the world. So, what is that going to do to me? Is it going to deter me from creating? Is it going to make me bitter? Is it going to make me want to stop? And I had this conversation with myself around the age of 30, and I realized, like, so what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't always, and my husband as well, can't always feel deterred because we might put certain things out in the universe and, not get acknowledgement for them. The other day, he came up to me and he was like, yo, Kim Kardashian totally stole your quote. And I was like, what you talking about, love? And he was like, you were talking about just your recipes and how people can steal your recipe, but the sauce is never going to be the same. And I was like, yeah. He was like, well, that's a Kim Kardashian quote now. And I was like, get out of here. Now, mind you, I could go through the videos of me saying this like a month before she came out with this quote, and I could find where I said, I think I was talking about bacalao and my products, talking about banana face alchemy and the cherry and how to infuse, and watching the distillery shows. That's kind of what gave me the idea to figure out how to distill my own, my own essences and fruit extracts and stuff like that. And I remember being like, bacalao is a recipe and a dish that a lot of people can try to, that has the same ingredients. You have your red onion, your garlic, your salted cod, all your ingredients, but how you make it is how you make it. So I was talking about cherry and banana face alchemy specifically, and I was like, yo, people can study your recipe, but the sauce will never be the same because what you put into it and how you make it, the process in which you make something, not just the recipe and the ingredients, but the process and how you make something is exactly what makes it unique and yours. So he came up to me, he was like, I'm not in the world like that to really be checking, and I don't have an active Twitter account, and a lot of that is really because I also wanted to gauge over the years how many sales and how much I would actually attract by truly just putting in the work and doing as much as I could without always talking about doing something or, like using social media as a means to stay active like that. I wanted to be active behind the scenes and just get the work out, constantly get the work out. Shout out to Azir who just walked in. So for me, I wanted to really gauge my sales and see, can I be successful without necessarily talking about, certain things every day, or just, shifting my gauge of how I do stuff. So it's to say that I didn't, going back to the camera too, going back to the Kim K comment, I really don't even think that, to be so presumptuous and think that someone is studying me like that or what. I stopped thinking like that. Like, it would be great, but I realized that a lot of people that are inspired by each other, especially women of color, often don't give credit or shout each other out as to who inspired them. And that was something in my 20s and my teens that I really, like 19, 20, that I really was aware of and promised myself, like, if anyone ever inspires me or if I ever get an idea that came from someone else, I would definitely give them props and shout them out. But, it's needless to say, that's not the way the world works. Often great inventors or great people don't get credit for their little inventions. And, we live in a time right now where everything is so viral, and so no one really, can take credit for what they might say if they alter it a sentence or two, or, I don't take things like that personal, but it did inspire me to keep up the work and know that people that have extreme investments and a lot of wealth might be finding what I do to be interesting. And instead of thinking of it as a slight to anything, I always think of it as what I'd like to attract in my life. And what I'm striving to attract is, I've blended and done this for like 10 years now, and have made so many recipes that I'm proud of, that I've taken months to sometimes create, months and years to create, that I hope that someone with a certain amount of wealth will see what I'm doing and go, you know what, let's, give her a break and take on what she's doing, give her a little factory and let her, apply her recipes to like factory type models so that I can have them in stores and have them be worldwide and have them be available to everyone everywhere. Of course, that's what I want. But, in the meantime, I don't think about what I'm not going to do, or I'm not going to think of stopping myself from creating stuff because I'm, not getting certain credit, or I don't have, that's part of it is a balance in what it is you're willing to invest. And I had to, really be honest with myself and say, well, if I'm going to be on camera and constantly checking my phone, how much time is that going to take away from me actually concocting and making products and, paying attention to the process? And I realized years ago that it was taking a lot of energy away, and I much more wanted to invest in producing. And in order to produce, I might not be as popular. So that was something that I realized, and not having a network or not having like a team when I moved from New York out here. Don't think of it as a limitation. Think of what I can create, what I can do, how I can design my own labels, design my own website, design every, product on it, and that's gonna take me years. So don't compare yourself to someone who might start with like a group of 10 that graduated college together, or that started with, a group or family, or people that saw their vision and was like, yo, I see what you're talking about, and let's back you. Let's help you get to where you want to go. Let's work together. I'll help you design so-and-so. I'll help you. That wasn't necessarily a reality of mine. And instead of thinking of that as like a sleight of hand, I really wanted to think of how much I have attained over the years and what position I'm in to just at least be able to concoct and think of stuff, even if I am in a basement or if I am in a small space. What is it that I can see the vastness in, and can I allow myself to create things of wealth outside of my given circumstances, and to come from literally nothing to at least having a small savings account to be able to invest in my own products and invest in my own ideas is huge for me. And to be able to live in a space where I can have quiet and peace and not hear the constant sounds of drilling or constant chaos outside of my door, those are things that are priceless to me, just priceless. So that is what I focus on, thinking about ways to, really create things that I want to see exist in the universe, that I want to be able to share with people. Like right now we have the BlueRice HairSprays that really I'm grateful for, because it took me a good 6 months to figure out how to ferment, but also create something translucent. How do I ferment it but not have it be, the viscosity, not have it be cloudy? How do I do that? And how do I cloud the fermentation smell? And how do I make it where all the vitamins from not only the rice, but enrich it a little bit more? How do I do that? How do I make, these two are coming out this week. I didn't put them on the website, but I've been working on them and I just took the pictures. Goji Guru and the BlueRice hair pudding. The BlueRice hair pudding is gonna go along with the BlueRice hair shampoo as well as the BlueRice hairspray. I came out with the BlueRice hairspray first, just because it takes me about an hour to upload everything on the site, but also because I wanted to gauge it a little bit. Like, let me share the rice spray because I have worked so long on it and it's something I want to share with people right around Valentine's. So I did that 2 weeks ago, and then, I promised myself not even to the next, not even to the next new moon, make sure I share the BlueRice hair pudding as well as the BlueRice shampoo. And you'll be able to see the little flecks because I was able to keep a lot of the ingredients just really sound. And I do like incorporating some of the herbs. I learned which herbs they don't really, they don't spoil depending on what essential oils and how you preserve your products. But I've learned which herbs I can infuse and which herbs I actually can't put inside of things. So a lot of times I'll see people, for example, like with, I came out with Foy like 6 years ago, and Foy is Fountain of Youth, and that's the face serum that is really like, I would say 80%, argan, calendula, pomegranate, and rose oil. But I've noticed a lot of companies just really throwing some dried roses and a couple. Infusion doesn't just take place when you throw herbs in oils. It actually has to be, mastered with a certain heat, and it has to be almost like cold press. Like how do I explain? There's a part of myself that tries to shut myself up because I'll share so much that I don't want to give away my unique process until I'm able to patent everything. And patenting is so much money that I learned to just, okay, copyright your labels, make sure that you copyright your logo, and you do everything on a grander scale. But I wasn't able to patent the process because it's a really unique process, and I had to humble myself and say, look, girl, just get the work out there and do what you can until you can, So, for example, like the Sagittarius body wash, as well as the body salve, is made with a lot of hawthorn, and it's made with calendula, of course. But how I make that to not get milky in the body washes, I'm really proud of myself, because if you don't give yourself certain acknowledgement and credit, again, you can't live in the world and hope that, hey, I said it. It's just to say, wow, if that is now a Kim Kardashian quote, know that people are listening. And who knows, it could be the team, it could be, I've never been so bold to think that Kim Kardashian, but you always say, my greatness is at such a level that I wouldn't, I like to think that I have that much wealth, regardless of what material things I've amassed around me. And I like to believe that, again, greatness and an internal wealth, like attracts like. So it's not to say that I would attract Kim Kardashian, but people of that ilk, or someone who is invested in her. Kim Kardashian didn't start out the way that we see her now. There was a journey to her process, and I didn't start out in certain ways, so I have to give credit where credit's due. And I'm just not the type of person to ever want to bring someone else down based on what I hope to attract or things. So that can be a little bit much, because my husband's always like, girl, you need a suit, you need a thing. And he can be right to a certain degree, like he is, but where am I going to place my energy in? Can I actually do that and still make sure orders go out in 3 to 5 days, and everybody gets their personal tracking email, and all the things that I say really matter to me? I don't want those things to be compromised, because I have to fight for my right. It's like God sees and hears all, and I will attract a moment and an opportunity where someone's like, girl, you made all that by yourself? I don't believe it. And I could open my drawer, like literally, I'd open this drawer that has all of my labels in it, and open this bottom drawer that's just filled with herbs, and say, yeah, no, I really do this. And what do you have to, give up in order to make stuff that you really use every day, and that you really love, and that you're really grateful to be able to share with people? And sometimes, like I said, you give up popularity, you give up, being seen on Instagram every day, you give up certain things because your time is just really going to creating and putting things out there. Because again, you have to be humble and knowing your personal journey, and I know how far I've come, but I also am aware of what I look like. Sometimes I say to myself, I believe I'm beautiful, I know I'm beautiful, all those, affirmations, but I also know the world that I live in, and I know what my own hair might represent, and it might just take me a little bit longer than other people to have people believe that what I do can be marketed with this face, and there's room and space for all our types of beauty. So I'm just really grateful to be in a space now where people are even acknowledging that women of certain skin tones. I'm sure y'all saw the doctor Asir showed me this the other day, the doctor that talked about the dark skin model as a freak of nature, and you know, that's how he sees, you know, women of our color. And I say our color because I could get that dark in Puerto Rico. I could get that dark in the sun. Right. But again, you want to be careful with your skin. And I have to also say, you know, because I have certain tones now, I want to be honest in knowing that, okay, my little freckles are coming out, I'm getting older, my little sunspots might start to show, and just be honest with certain stuff. So another product I'm really proud of that I just want to show and see if it shows in this light. Let me bring the label, because I didn't put the label on it. These are Dew. Do you see how the earth, like the stuff sticks to the side of the bottle like that? Do you see that? Because Daily Enriching Witch Hazel, I think I have it upside down. There we go. The witch hazel is not just made with, it's so incredible. Someone said it looks like nail polish, like a nail polish coat, and it feels like that. But do you see how it's not like how it's not like like it moves really differently? Because the way in which it's made took me so long to figure out. But the Enriching Witch Hazel, it literally is so translucent, but then the calendula and the roses, excuse me, the way it kind of sticks to the side of the bottle is so beautiful. And that's the same thing with the Anise, the toner. It is so nice, this toner, because it's made with actual grapefruit. I've been able to think, but like real vitamin C, we talk about what peptides, what vitamins. Vitamin C is such a skin saver, and there's a way to infuse it to really, you know, not only create the healthy skin rejuvenation in your cells to really do the right thing, but it also is just amazing to be able to see what your own investment of actually something real and true to you can create and do. So like vitamins, you know, the vitamin C in terms of lime, in terms of lemon, in terms of, you know, what I use in the Sun Kiss, what I use in the musical hairs. It's incredible because it does, you know, it helps with when your hair grows, not to allow the right vitamins, your hair will not get as gray as quick as it will if you don't have those stimulants, right? So I just try to be honest with stuff like that, and I started realizing a lot of companies might not have the time to really infuse. And it's not to say, oh, I got all the time in the world. No, I'm up and trying to get 5-6 hours sleep a day, you know, do my steaming, like really be honest with myself. But even like the banana serum, to really infuse true banana in my products have allowed us to feel and smell like, oh, I smell this without all the perfume. And yes, I love it, because I didn't even believe that we could, and that could make something that smelled and felt like that. So, all right, so we got even like the beads and roses. If I were to shout out a couple of the products that I'm really proud of right now, it's the Lazuli face wash. It looks lavender in color, but I have to say it's, you know, the Lazuli blue, because it's got a little bit of blue spirulina in that in it, and it's got blue. Let me get the little bottle. It's why did I forget the name of it right now? Oh, blue tansy. I'm like blue tansy. A little. Let me show you. I didn't want to get out the camera for too long. It's like this size. A little blue tansy like this could be like $150. And that oil is incredible for cleansing the skin, for people that have a little bits of breakouts. So it's not harsh. It's like incredible when you figure out how to litmus and make sure that the pH value is really great. And also, I'm really excited, you know, having just a Kangen little water machine that really filters for beauty products and for different stuff. I started testing the alkalinity of my products based on that, and just being grateful that I can get them up to a certain level now. And again, I'm really excited about the BlueRice pudding, the BlueRice hairspray. It's just really infused with more vitamins, more vitamin B, D. It's got, of course, all the fermentation, but none of the smell, thanks to Manoi and Neroli, two really, really expensive I understand why though now. You really only need like a clinks and your stuff is like boom. It smells and feels wonderful. So I'm really excited about that. The consistency of it is wonderful, and you don't ever want your products to actually be like bright blue. It's like a sky blue because there's no micas in it. No formicas, no anything like the same thing with the red poppy. The red poppy, if anyone is familiar with the Celina, it's like Vaseline, but without the mineral oil, without the petroleum. It's made with a lot of calendula, a lot of jojoba, a lot of macadamia, and just the consistency of this isn't out yet. Do you see how, let me see if I can show y'all. Do you see how when I thing, how it, you see that? You see that? It's so juicy, and it's made with goji and pomegranate and cherry, and the consistency, you could put it on your body. It's literally body friendly, all of that. You see how my elbow, it just brings out, and someone rubbed my elbow the other day online. Funny enough, they were like, your elbows don't even exist. Yes, they did. I just started rubbing really good stuff in them, and now they're like the same exact. They've always been kind of a cool color because they kind of blend into my skin. Unlike my knees with my keloids, I had to start working on that, but they're completely blended now. Over the years, I've been able to get my knee color all the same color, even with this dark hypertrophic scar. So I'm just really grateful to be able to pass that on to other people, bless you, that have had surgeries that, you know, again, challenge your skin and challenge just, you know, the healing process and all that. I refuse. So I just wanted to take a second. I totally have to stop talking so I can get the labels on these and meet the mailman downstairs in a little while. And thank you. Thank you so much for supporting. I'm looking at everything. Y'all haven't, let me tell you something. The bilberry, for those I was talking about skin color and consistency, look up bilberry, because bilberry is an amazing herb, and it will smooth and even out your skin tone and brighten dark spots naturally. So will so many other herbs. Like you can use orris root, natural skin lightener. It's in the orris root conditioner, but orris root is another. I used it with one of my calendula blends for the Tepes Cohuite. It's really dope because it lightens your dark spots without changing your melanin and without bleaching your skin, which is what we all, you know, we don't want to mess up the original, you know, what makes it good. But of course, when you scratch yourself or when you fall down and you have a dark, you want to lighten that up naturally without changing the rest of your body, you know? So we just try the best we can try and offer stuff that unfortunately I was noticing was just being way too overpriced in other people's products. And I was like, no, we're gonna make a coffee bomb or coffee butter. You guys are familiar with coffee butter, the coffee bomb, and you're also familiar with the tiger stripes. The tiger stripes, the coffee, and the Virgo are all made with coffee, Ethiopian coffee, but the smell of it, the coffee with the lime for Virgo. Then you have just a straight coffee for the coffee bomb. And then for the tiger stripes, you got the coffee with the cardamom, and that is just the smoothest and the greatest. And those are the things, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not gonna like give up the things that I love because by humbug, I'm not getting, it's like, I might have to work a little harder, do a little more, and work harder. No, I just have to be grateful that I can do what I can do. What I mean by work harder is put in more hours. I sometimes see people that are traveling the world and do it, and you know, I don't know what they might have done to get there. I just know that I can't be like the brat's wife who has a business, but she living life to such an extent that I'm like, I've never seen a kaleidoscope. I've never, you know, but they exist. Shout outs to, you know, that business is doing wonderfully. But I'm always inspired by women like that have started from probably nothing and are now able to have factories and travel the world. It's very inspiring because I'm like, how are you? Did you get bought out? Did somebody, do you still own the rights? And things like that. I never want to, you know, give up what it is I've put so much into. But you do have to also humble yourself and say, of course, I would love for it to be in every store in, you know, all the 52 states, and I can't do that by myself. So how do I attract the mass without giving up the business aspect and the recipes and the distinct qualities that make Cordoba Organics what it is? And there's a way, just like everything else can manifest in the universe, there's a way. It just might take a little bit longer. So I put those hours in, and I like challenging myself to just create things that I want to use, that I want to feel, and I be extreme with it, like, oh, red poppy, blue poppy, let's pop it. So the red poppy salve and the blue poppy salve, it's in the drawer. I should go get it. It's right here. The blue poppy salve, they're so, let me even show y'all what okay, the blue poppy ointment, the blue poppy salve, you see that? The lazuli blue face wash, yummy, yummy to your tummy. And then I'm coming out with fine wine. That's coming out this like week. I'm gonna wait till like May, you know, little new moon, couple days. I'm like, at this point, you know what I'm saying? But fine wine is good, is so dope. Why? I was trying to figure out a way to infuse the hibiscus along with the cherry and the pomegranate, because I wanted a really charged up red face wash. And of course, that took me a while because it's impossible to infuse hibiscus in a certain way, but I figured it out. And that along with the pomegranate, and it's to make that a facial serum. So that's kind of like, we have the, you know, you listen to all these terms, AHA, BHA, they're just ways of saying fruit infused things that are going to generate a lot of vitamin C production, chemical, like, I always laugh at how things are created and what term comes out of what, you know, the alpha hydroxy acids as well as the hydroxy. It's just another way of saying fruit in your things that are also kind of like a natural exfoliant, but do two things. They tighten your skin, they close your pores, and they encourage healthy collagen production. And we want that collagen production the older we get. So I've really been paying attention to things like that, and I thought of, ooh, age like a fine wine, and he's always like, oh baby, you age like a fine wine. So I said, well, I'm gonna make a product called fine wine, and that's what it is. And it's literally like all the collagen production ingredients to give our skin that little glow and the boost that we need, and just to keep our skin healthy. I like variety. I use 4 different face washes a week. Sometimes I use the kelp after I work out. Then I use the beets and roses at night. I use the rose clay in the morning. I use the banana face on the weekends. I use the banana face especially around the time I'm getting my cycle. I use the cherry serum in the morning. I use the banana on a more during the day. And I'm always, you know, people are like, oh, rub it in your, I'll definitely think of ways to try to do it on video. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, I really gotta sit and wash my, certain things that I do, I still find a lot of joy in the privacy of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because I'm a little older, but I said, okay, you know, maybe I could do like a little, I went to school for theater, I could do like a little scene and make it, instead of it being like Celina washes her hair, I can make it like something more fun and just show how I do it, because it's hilarious. I have a chair, I sit on a chair in the shower, and I get to work because it's too much to stand up and to do all that standing. But anyway, I'll definitely open up more and share all those little things and think of creative ways that I haven't seen 1,000 people, because Lord knows we've seen so many hair washing videos and hair oil. So there's a part of me just like, I want to do something different. But you know, you're thinking of doing something different when people just like, girl, just do anything. So thank you all for watching. I'm gonna throw labels on these, get these in some envelopes. I gotta go so I don't miss my other opportunity to get these out on time, which for me is 3 days, clink clinks. Actually 2 days for some people, and then 1 day for the people yesterday. But keep it moving and keep it grooving. CordobaOrganics.com. Please subscribe. I don't ever say that, but of course, please subscribe, share, and more than that, just spread the news about what y'all feel them doing. The testimonials have been great, and I thought I'm gonna open up a little Twitter, Cordoba Organics. Why didn't I? In 2014, somebody started a Cordoba Organics page, and it really deterred me because it was like, oh, in order to get the password, you have to get the app authorization. I didn't have authorization because I never started it, so I just ignored it and walked away and was really annoyed with it in 2014. And then I really, last couple years, I was like, I gotta get that URL for Twitter. I did a little while ago. Thank God I worked really hard to show I am the owner of this, and everything went great, of course, but I didn't even have the energy then when I was thinking of ways to create, to do all that. So now that that is there, I'm thinking of just sharing all of the products on it, but also just if y'all have questions, of course, or just want to ask certain things, I'll try to think of like a day or two to just take out and really, who wants to hire somebody to answer your own Twitter? Like people like, oh, you need to hire. And I like being able to connect with people for real, and if I can't, just be honest, because I don't want somebody giving advice or answering something in a way that's not from my own tone from me. So that's exactly why, that's the real reason why Twitter thing. And then also I was like, girl, if you're selling without Twitter, then think about what you might amass and why you might not have that right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel like you gotta have what everybody else does in order to be successful. But true talk, there was I'm sure if you type it, you'll see some, started 2014. It wasn't until like 2016 that I really even and you just live and you learn. But all that to say, acknowledgement comes in more ways than someone being like, I see what you're doing. Sometimes just, the testimonials I'm gonna throw on Twitter, because I've gotten so many that are so beautiful, and I'm always like, I don't necessarily want to put people's private stuff like that and the things they write me, but some of them are really inspiring because so many people, would love to hear how one product helped their family in more ways than one. And I don't think about sharing stuff like that, so I gotta get better. And I'm definitely gonna get better at marketing and sharing stuff like that. But the best marketing is word of mouth. I'm still old school. I feel like I don't care how much I rub stuff on my face, the best marketing is people talking about it that don't come from you. And y'all can shout anything out. Go on, do your little video, whatever you wanted to do and thing. I've never not wanted that, but I also don't rely and expect people to do favors like that. Like, come on, put the grind in yourself, Celina. And it just made me very self-reliant. I don't really rely on a lot of other energy, and I've never asked somebody, hey, I'd send you this, it would be nice. If they do, I'm like, yay, thanks, I'll send you a gift. But a lot of people just might not have time or might not want to tell people about stuff. So you don't take it personal. Just like you don't take someone taking a quote or a thought of yours personal. You just say, yo, the thought must have been hot, because now everybody pop, 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 pop. But yeah, I definitely be on some, it's the same. And you can probably understand why I be talking about recipes and then the sauce not being the same. Hit it ups. And that's what it was. Like the recipes, y'all can take the ingredients, you can read all, because I gotta be honest with all my ingredients. You never know what chemists are out there taking your stuff to a lab. I really be encouraging people to do that because my stuff is 100% real. But yeah, you put all your ingredients on, somebody might even be like, I'm gonna take that, and copy, but they don't have the process. They don't have the energy. They don't have the verb. They don't have, you know what I'm saying? And God sees all. So I'll be like, it's all good. My time will come and my time is now. So again, thank you to everyone who has ever supported Cordoba Organics. I am going to try to come on and spray my hair, do something like that this week. I love y'all so much. Thank you for supporting and understanding why I be disappearing. I really got to put them out and get them made. And also, be grateful for the 2 employees that I've been able to attract, and just trust and be grateful to learn more about, how to market a MailChimp and all that other good stuff. So thank you so much. CordobaOrganics.com. I'm gonna take Basir talking about all this cool stuff on our wall too. That's what we should do. Switch it up and have some fun. Much love, much light. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.